So if you're in the world of trying to sell businesses for a living or thinking about getting into that business, it's important to be prepared, organized, and look as professional as you possibly can. This is tip number one, preparing for a visit to the business owner to get a possible listing. So this might be a situation where somebody's seen your ad or responded to a call that you made, or somebody referred you on to go see owner so-and-so and see if there's a good fit between you and them in case that you might want to sell their business. So one of the key strategies and important things to always do is be prepared. Being prepared is totally essential to making sure that the listing is right and organized, etc. Now, most likely you're going to set up your appointment in advance. So obviously the basic things like get the address right, get your appointment right, set a time and a place, make sure you can make it, know how you get there. I'm going to figure you know that basic stuff out there, and you probably know a bunch of this as well, but this is a good reminder. First thing is, to preview over the phone. And the initial seller sheet. We have a seller sheet that's really useful for people. They'll go through the list and they'll ask questions like, about how much you have in revenues, how many employees you have, how many years have you been in business, certainly the type of industry, etc. But write some notes in advance, and you don't want to get so inundated that they're exhausted from the conversation and don't want to talk to you. At the same time, be interested, tell us a little about the business. And in this process, you can usually gain a lot of information about the business, and now you need to go do your research. So start off with that preview over the phone. Next is go to their website, peruse their website. That means read it in detail in case you don't know. And that's important that you go through and really know everything. So if you're meeting with them and they say, hey, did you know we had such and such? Or maybe they say, tell me what you know about my company already, and you don't know that they carry product X, Y, and Z or what they do, you're going to look really foolish, especially if they have a website. Now, I do realize that there are companies out there that still, to this day and age, don't have a website. Go figure that. But those who do get to know the website, read everything, read every page, get to know the details, the comments. Even if you think it's not good or good, don't make any comment regarding that. But you can make your own mental notes regarding that. But get to know what they have to offer, what they're proud of, etc. Check the company on the state corporation. Like in Florida, for instance, it's sunbiz.org. And that'll help you identify who are the owners. Is it just this person? Is it that person? And other people as well? Maybe it's a husband and wife. Maybe there's different officers. So see where you can find on a registry in the corporation. You can look up this information, and whatever state you're calling from, usually there's a website that'll have that basic information. The other thing I do is a couple things. I check the real estate. They may or may not own the property. Nonetheless, it's kind of good to know who owns the property, where it is, what's happening with the real estate, other things that might be tied to it. I'll look on a map, and maybe if it's a retail type of company, look to see if there's competitors in the market area. You can go to Google Maps and stuff like that and type in other printing shops and see how far other printing shops are in the area. But also knowing who owns the property, the real estate, what's going on with that could be useful. In some cases, the owner owns the real estate, and in those cases, some of the times they want to sell the real estate, some of the times they want to hold on to the real estate, sometimes they want to leave it up to possibility either one whatsoever. Now Google is your friend in this case. Google for customer comments and ideas and insights, what's going on in the industry, what's going on specifically about that business. Also, go to things like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. It doesn't really matter. Go see. Maybe you've got connections to these people that you didn't realize. Maybe you've got some people that can help you with the business. Now, remember, you don't want to violate any confidentiality, so don't go and type into LinkedIn, hey, I see you're connected with such and such business. I'm thinking of selling his business and going to meet them. But on the other hand, you might find out who you know in common, and you might even say to them, hey, I noticed that we have 4 people in common. Of course, we maintain confidentiality, but I just thought it was kind of cool that you happen to know X, Y, and Z, whoever the person is. Or Facebook, you can tell things about what they're into, what their lifestyle's like, what they like to do, where they spend their time. Do they like to go hunting or camping or fishing or have children, etc.? Getting to know a little bit about them in advance is a powerful tool, and it shows that you care enough that you've tried to investigate and understand them in advance. Understand the industry trends. There's a lot of companies have, or a lot of businesses have industry associations, and sometimes those associations have some basic free information on the website. Go out and look at what's happening with the trends, even changes in the industry. You might already have worked in the industry before, and then find out that you need to learn some other things out there as well. So understanding those changes is important. Another thing to do is to go check out what is sold in the past. Companies like Peer Comps and Business Brokers MLS and BV resources and that sort of thing. There's a lot of resources that show what similar business sold for, and even if you don't want to dump all that information at first with them because you just don't know how big the business is, etc., you should sort of know the multiples in the industry and factors and stuff like that. Be prepared for the handbook. You might have a copy of all the different things you've done, maybe the write-up of the teaser that you create, the comprehensive business review, how you do valuations, some case studies that you've done, that sort of thing. Have that ready and have that at hand as well. You might not want to open that up and share all that at first. Start off and remember the rule of listen more than you talk. But at the same time, sometimes they might say, hey, can you show me an example of what you've got? And it's good to have samples ready. I use IBISWorld. It's not an inexpensive service, but it really tells me a lot about the industry, trends, details, things I've never thought of before. I like IBISWorld. And again, it's not the only place you can get information. Sometimes the association, again, a reminder, once again, peruse the website. I know it. That's so crazy. Another thing you can do is talk to somebody who else is in the industry. Maybe you know somebody on the other side of town or some other place, or a family member that is in let's say you're going to go to a print shop. You want to find out what's the latest problems, challenges, opportunities, trends in the industry. You can go to somebody and say, hey, I'm getting ready to talk to a business owner about selling their business. And I was wondering if you would mind spending a little bit of time sharing with me what questions I should be asking, what things are challenging in the industry, and that sort of thing. So get some information, and there's a lot of people that are willing to help. Again, you don't want to tip your hat and share, it's the guy over on such and such a street, because competition knows each other a lot of times. On the other hand, they might be impressed with you enough that when they go to sell their business, they'll remind you and remember you rather, and reach out to you. You can go through, like if you're part of a Chamber of Commerce, as an example, you go down through the Rolodex and say, hey, I see there's another print shop in there, and I'm going to call so-and-so. Even if you don't know them, if you have something in common, it might be useful. A great tool I like is the Business Reference Guide. That's by the Ron West group out there. And you can find the Business Reference Guide has a lot of tips, ideas, and general ideas about selling businesses, etc. And one more thing is, if you don't know the industry and it's really out of your league, doesn't mean you can't take the listing, but it might be the type of thing that you team up with somebody who really specializes in selling car lots, as an example. And you say, well, how do I go about handling the inventory and all that sort of stuff? Well, maybe you call up somebody and you say, I saw you. A place that you can find experts in industries is that Business Reference Guide. Another place is the International Business Brokers Association. Reach out to somebody. Maybe they team up with you. You'd learn something in the process. They can make some money. Better to be successful and share some funds than to be totally, going for everything yourself and not be able to do anything because you're not prepared to get out there. So, keep in mind that being prepared is really, really key. I always remind people, look at Forbes magazine and Exit Planning Institute, Biz, Buy, Sell, etc., that a lot of businesses just never sell. And a part of it is because we as brokers, or the individuals that try and sell their own businesses, or real estate agents that think they can sell the businesses, are just not prepared, doing a good job showing the value, or giving unrealistic information. So be prepared, be realistic, be straightforward, be courageous, to be honest, etc., and work hard to make things happen. Anyway, this is Brian Stevens with BuyBizUSA. You can check us out at the website, BuyBizUSA.com. You can reach out to us at 833-BuyBiz1, B-U-Y-B-I-Z, the number 1. Start off with 833. Or a whole lot of different things. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. And I just want to encourage you to get out there and make great things happen. Be amazing, change lives, help people buy and sell businesses. It's a cool thing to do, and it really adds a lot of value to the individuals that we get to work with. Take care, make great things happen, reach out to us anytime. Good luck. Bye-bye.